All right, it is back in today's Top Talker, the Browns. But it's only one game. Fans, though, of course, they're not happy.
That's right. So I was on the golf course with Jay earlier today, and that's all anybody was talking about. His blood pressure is going up, the vein came out, all the things. So it might be really good that he's not here today with us. But in these uncertain times, obviously we need a voice of reason and somebody who knows and understands Browns fans.
Oh, I'm really looking forward to this.
That would be, of course, our own Mike Polk-Jr.
Of course, Browns fans are no strangers to booing our own team, and the Browns are no strangers to deserving it. When you're as consistently bad as this team has been since 1999, booing might be considered tacky, but it's far from irrational. We booed the likes of Charlie Frye, Derrick and Deshone Kizer, and they all deserved it. Those were well-earned boos, and I stand by them. We booed Tim Couch, even though he didn't deserve it. It wasn't fair, but that was understandable. Those were boos of frustration aimed more at Art Modell and the NFL for stealing our competent team and replacing them with the pet cemetery zombie husk of a team that returned with the same name. But the boos yesterday felt a little bit different than usual because it felt like some of them were aimed at ourselves. As Browns fans, we're used to supporting an incompetent team, but there was always a cleanness to it. We stunk, but we had the moral high ground. We were the lovable losers who deserved better but couldn't catch a break. But when ownership made the controversial Watson deal, it came to represent all of us, whether we liked it or not. As you may recall, when the team committed to Watson long-term, in spite of a bevy of assault allegations, the fan base was not universally ecstatic. Now, some fans were totally unbothered. They stayed. For some, it was a bridge too far, and they left. And then some fans like myself were none too pleased, but stopped short of renouncing the football team that they'd supported since childhood and pressed ahead in spite of any nagging moral reservations. So we came to terms with the deal and look forward to being rewarded for our indulgence by the sort of consistent success that tends to alleviate any pesky second guessing that inevitably follows difficult ethical decisions. And that's what makes this whole situation so uniquely tragic. Where is the payoff for our moral compromise? Quick music break. That's the sound of Robert Johnson. He's recognized as a master of the Delta blues and one of the most influential musicians of the 20th century. According to legend, Johnson met the devil himself at the crossroads, and in exchange for his soul, he was granted mastery of the guitar. It's one of the best-known examples of what's called a Faustian bargain, or a pact whereby a person trades something of moral importance for some worldly or material benefit. Faustian bargains are by nature ultimately tragic and self-defeating because that which is surrendered is ultimately far more valuable than what is obtained. But that's what makes this Brown situation particularly tragic. It's not that we made a Faustian bargain, it's that the devil isn't even holding up his end of the deal. We're not just booing because the team played poorly, we're booing because when Robert Johnson made his unsavory bargain, he at least got to enjoy some amazing music as a result. When he got back from the crossroads, he didn't pick up the guitar and sound like this. That wouldn't have been fair, right? So, as Browns fans, where is the temporary reward we are due in exchange for the moral compromise we made? Because until we see it, I'd wager that we're in store to hear a lot more booing this season. On the field, and in our minds. But hey, it's just one game, folks. And after yesterday, the music can't get much worse, right? Stay up, gang, and go Browns.
Nailed it yet again.
Yeah.
And the kicker of it all, Baker Mayfield had another amazing game yesterday. Like, we just can't win.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, this has been tough, I know. And so many people are just very apathetic about the whole Deshaun Watson situation anyway.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, we know he didn't show up on the field in spring training, I should say. And then all of a sudden he goes out there and was like, well, maybe he's been working and it's great. And it just wasn't great.
And I haven't been here for too long, but even last season, I mean, when I was here, we had that Watson watch banner, you know, on the bottom of the screen. Just, you know, of course that was because of injury and we just didn't know where things were going to go. But it's been interesting to see, you know, after all that time and the lack of games that he's played in, to see, you know, how people react now that he's back on the field.
We'll see what happens next week. We'll be there.
Yeah.
That's what we do as Browns fans.